Hello, welcome to the self-learning platform by Dr. Sushma Singh. Today we start Unit 26, Feminism. And we start with topic sex or gender distinction. And we are going to discuss sex is to nature as gender is to culture. One of the key contributions of feminist theory is the making of a distinction between sex and gender. Sex as referring to the biological differences between men and women, and gender as indicating the vast range of cultural meanings attached to that basic difference. This distinction is important for feminism to make because the subordination of women has been fundamentally justified on the grounds of the biological differences between men and women. This kind of biological determinism has been one of the most important legitimizing mechanisms of women's oppression over the centuries. The challenge to biological determinism is therefore crucial for feminist politics. Next point is masculinity, femininity, and cultural differences. Feminist anthropologists, preeminent amongst whom is Margaret Mead, have demonstrated that what is understood as masculinity and femininity varies across cultures. In other words, not only do different society identify a certain set of characteristics as feminine and another set of masculine, but also these characteristics are not the same across different cultures. Thus, feminists have argued that there is no necessary correlation between the biology of men and women and the qualities that are thought to be masculine and feminine. Rather, it is child rearing practices which try to establish and perpetuate certain differences between the sexes. That is, from childhood, boys and girls are trained in appropriate gender specific forms of behavior, play, dress, and so on. This training is continuous and most of the time subtle, but when necessary, can involve punishments to bring about conformity. So, feminists argue that sex specific qualities, for example, bravery and confidence, as masculine, and sensitivity and shyness as feminine, and the value that society attributes to them are produced by a range of institutions and beliefs that socialize boys and girls differently. As Simon de Beauvoir put it, one is not born but becomes a woman. In addition, societies generally value masculine characteristics more highly than feminine ones, while at the same time ensuring that men and women who do not conform to these characteristics are continuously disciplined into the appropriate behavior. So, there is nothing natural about the sexual division of labor. The fact that men and women perform different kinds of work, both within the family and outside, has little to do with biology. Only the actual process of pregnancy is biological. all the other work within the home that women must do: cooking, cleaning, looking after children, and so on. In other words, the whole range of work we may call domestic labor can equally be done by men. But this work is considered to be women's work. Next point is sexual division of labor and workplace. This sexual division of labor is not limited to the home. It extends even to the public arena of paid work, and again, this has nothing to do with sex or biology and everything to do with gender or culture. Certain kinds of work are considered to be women's work and other kinds men's. But more important is the fact that whatever work that women do gets lower wages and is less valued. For example, nursing and teaching, particularly at lower levels, are predominantly female professions and are also comparatively ill paid in relation to other white collar jobs, which the middle classes take up. Feminists point out that this feminization of teaching and nursing is because such work is seen as an extension of the nurturing work that women do within the home. Next point is ideological assumptions behind the sexual division of labor. The fact is that it is not a natural biological difference that lies behind the sexual division of labor, but certain ideological assumptions. So, on the one hand, women are supposed to be physically weak and unfit for heavy manual labor, but both in the home and outside, they do the heaviest work, carrying heavy load of water and firewood, grinding corn, transplanting paddy, carrying head loads in mining and construction work. But at the same time, when the manual work that women do is mechanized, making it both lighter and better paid, then it is men who receive training to use the new machinery and women are edged out. This happens not only in factories but even with work that was traditionally done by women within the company. When electrically operated flour mill replaced hand grounding of grain or machine made nylon fishing nets replaced the nets traditionally handmade by women. It is the men who are trained to take over the jobs, and women are forced to move into even lower paid and more arduous manual work. In other words, the present subordination of women arises not from unchangeable biological differences, but from social and cultural values, ideologies, and institutions that ensure the material and ideological subordination of women. This feminist view questions of sex differentiated work, the sexual division of labor, and more fundamentally questions of sexuality and reproduction as issues to be extricated from the realm of biology, which is understood to be natural and unchangeable. The feminist agenda is to relocate these issues in the realm of political, which suggests that they can and must be transformed. Here we want to wind up this lecture. Thank you so much for your attention.